All right, we'll get started here pretty soon. I'll be right back.
Just getting up? No. Oh, getting out of the bathroom. Oh, I'm sorry.
Marlon, knock it off.
Is that going?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I tuned in yesterday for like 2 minutes. I noticed you were on. I was going through YouTube on my TV. Oh. Have to excuse my stuffiness.
Mm.
Oh. Got slammed. I think it was from being in all that stuff, even with my mask. I ended up with this thing knocked me on my butt for, let's see, it started on Thursday. Actually, I noticed it when I was up and about Thursday and Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday was the worst. It was like all in my eyes, all this pressure. It's terrible. But so you were actually playing one yesterday. It must have been that one. When I tuned in for a couple of minutes, you were
Space Mission,
yeah.
which Carl was the one that sold it to me. It was way too much because it was not working then, and it's still having problems. There's some lights that don't light up that I've replaced the sockets on, and they still don't. And I've been trying to do things to make them light. And, well, I had Kurt from Portland Pinball Repair take it for a long time, and he got it kind of working, and then it's having problems with the randomizer on the match. The cock keeps slipping, so it's, and that's causing it to buzz really badly, because of course it's like, it's slipped off, and it's like,
Right.
it doesn't like that, so.
Right. So what Kurt do when he had it? What did he get going?
Said there was a bunch had terminals that had solder jumping over to other places that shouldn't have been, and that kind of thing. And I'm actually going through even more thorough with the wiring and redoing it, because some of it, because some of the wiring, it has the cloth too far out, and you want it close to like what these are,
Uh-huh.
up to the terminal. So
Sure.
I've been going through there, and it was about 3.5 hours yesterday that I worked on that. After I did, I mean, the match thing took me a while, but yeah, it was, well, that was just in the head there, and then I started doing the score block there.
So somebody got a hold of it and just kind of, where it wasn't manufactured that way with the solder jumping and all that, right? Yeah.
No.
Somebody just got a hold of it and did a hack job. So what are you working on right now?
Just more of the wiring stuff.
Yeah.
I really should have just taken it off his hands, really, because it's got too much into it now.
Right.
Can't make the money back on it. And the guy is saying, oh, it doesn't take this long to do this stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, it does. To do it right, yes, it does. He's the type that wants it done quick, and seemingly just wants a surface clean on his crap.
Right. Well, yeah.
And he freaked out. Oh, he used to pay $50 flat rate for cleaning these, and it's like, well, that was then, and this is now. And even at $10 an hour, that's nothing. I mean, shit, you gotta get more than I do. That, and Kurt told me he charges $45 an hour doing the same exact shit that I'm doing, and I'm getting nothing.
Just for surface clean?
Just
Like
for
if somebody just
repairing.
came in, just surface clean. Don't do anything else to surface clean it. They charge $45 an hour.
Well, for repairing, I don't
Okay.
know what he charges for.
But yeah, for somebody that just wants like just surface, just clean it up. No, yeah. I can understand a flat rate for that. Repair's a whole different animal. But as far as polishing it up a bit, putting some elbow grease into it, yeah. 3-4 hours maybe, just making it shiny. Yeah, I understand a flat rate on that, but I don't think I'd take anything less than 150 for it. Like what he was offering. If you're only gonna put like 2 or 3 hours and then just polishing it up, I think that's a good rate. I'm looking out for that because that's tedious. Tracing all that stuff back and figuring out.
Well, the cleaning, the way I clean though, it is tedious because I take all this shit off.
Right.
And I just don't. If he wants the surface clean, then he can go somewhere else then, because I don't do that. And he's not using my full potential because I clean and repair, but he's freaking out that he doesn't want me to touch anything with the electrical part of it. He just wants me to clean it up, make it shiny so he can make a quick buck off of me. Because, like I said, the Jungle Queen, I did that for him. He said that he would call me when he had Ron do the repair on it. And next thing is, it's up on Facebook. Hey, somebody want to buy the Jungle Queen? So he's using people to
Okay.
make a buck.
I got through the conversation that I saw is like, that's why I responded the way I did. It was like, I mean, because I don't know anything other than what I saw, and it's like, yeah, okay, but with a little more background there, okay, I see. He's one of the, okay. You're not the only one he's trying to make a quick buck off of, or, okay. All right, well, yeah, we don't want to treat someone like that like gold, then, yeah. Like, I mean, because from what I could read, it was like, wait a minute here. He didn't want that. He wanted that. And it was a little confusing, but I was like, okay. And then I also saw potential for other cleaning, just flat, just cleaning. I was thinking making a couple bucks off of him, not the other way around. If he just wants surface cleaning, yeah, 150 bucks. It's a quick, easy 150 bucks. That's what I was thinking. But yeah, that's not the way it's. Yeah, okay. He doesn't play that way, so there's no point in doing business there.
I have asked it together, and I said, well, if you want to pay me to put it together, sure. But right now, I'm just going to throw everything in a box and here you go. You put it together. Because I have 3.5 hours that I cleaned on this, and this is where I stopped. Because I took off the relay board, because I was, of course, going to clean that. And it was going to be mine to resell.
Right.
So I got everything off, except for a few things here and there. But and then I bought a few things, like the new line cord board and the bolts.
Right, the bolts.
It had only the one in it.
Right.
And there's wires.
Go into nowhere.
Yeah, but there's it's not safe at all. It's one of those really old ones.
Oh, yeah.
Screw in the wires.
I didn't see these in the dog's age.
And there's a tab on the randomizer match that's coming off. I mean, it won't take much to break it off because it's like just, yeah, it's gonna fall off. This one doesn't look much better than the space mission because there's 2 wires that had the cloth wire, well, the wire exposed
Right.
on two of them, and one was so bad that I actually redid it and did the soldering on it and heat trimmed it because it was
Right.
an inch or two long. And so I took care of that, and I just put electrical tape over the small gap in the cloth. And then this one had major damage on the cloth too, so I redid that. And that's where, well, you can pretty much tell which one where I hit, because the one that's really bad, I actually spliced in more wire on it. Yeah,
You look all these over already?
quick look, yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to redo the flipper wiring because that's all bummed out. Plus, get a flipper rebuild kit and and 2 new coils for them, because that's just what I do.
Right.
Just to get reliability back, because they look fine, but yeah. I go to take them apart, and I'm sure that a lot of the time the sleeve is glued in there.
Oh, really?
Well, glued in with the heat
Mm-hmm.
and stuff.
Yep.
There's I noticed that some of the plungers are rusty, so those would need replaced, because rust.
Right.
But I did start this up out in the garage, and it doesn't have a top fuse because it blew the head lights, which I took out all the lights too, because of course I was going to replace them with brand new ones.
Right.
But just throw in the old bulbs, which I have in the box. I'm not even going to tell them what goes in the, because I know exactly what goes there. It's the credit unit.
Oh.
Or not the credit, but the plays. Whenever you start the game, it counts how many plays, so that the operator knows that how many coins have been put in.
Right.
this, I would have sanded it and then did the satin gray like I did on the space mission.
Right. left, right. This right here. I see you have a new item.
Actually, oh, it's been around for a while. Must have come out
From out of there, from somewhere. Looks shiny.
haven't done anything to it.
You ever done anything here?
You know, I was just starting to clean it. I just did the left and right of the cat. Didn't get into well, the left and right of the head.
No.
space mission. The only difference is that it's got a kicker on the right there. Yeah. It's got a similar fling out because it still has the spitter going up there.
Right. Well, this has advanced bonus. A little roundabout thing in there. And this one kind of goes in like comes in backwards.
This one has the advanced bonus
Right.
over there too.
Right.
It's
Oh yeah, it's very. It's yeah. It's pretty close. 3 bumpers, 2 bumpers, but other than that, the whole the coming in and the
yeah. These are actually just scoring. The kickers are down here,
oh, that's cool.
and it kicks it up. If you can get it just right, it'll go back and forth between the two, or it'll hit this wrong and go down the middle. The guy's messaging me, so don't know. Let's type in, come get it. If you want me to put it together, then pay me extra, because you reneged on it, and it's yours again, so you can mess with it. And I even put it back everything that was, because there was a bolt. That bolt there is stripped, so I put that back. So I had one of mine in.
Uh-huh.
So
so by put back together, it means like bulbs, all that, right? You just said no, but it's transportable if you want to come get it. It's not. So yeah, no. Say no, it's not. That, it's not. But if he wants to come get it, he can come get it.
just wait a little bit, and then he'll give me a freaked out.
Freaked out response.
Mm-hmm. I know him too well, just from the last time. ready, you'll probably come over when you're gone, and then in between when my parents get here at about 6:30.
What's its current condition?
Well, not working at all and in pieces.
Oh, yeah, well. So, you're in the middle of cleaning it when he decided, what? He just wants to come get it and not let you finish cleaning it?
Well, the original deal was paying $850 for the diamond lady cleaning, and then I get this to resell it. And then he freaked out when I gave him my invoice receipt showing that I did 60 hours and I was still fine with the 150. And I have it as paid, have the invoice showing as paid, zero balance, and you just won't hear it. So.
Amount due, 0. Okay, so the very original deal was 150 for cleaning, and he'd give you $150 and the Aztec.
Yeah, to sell. And now he's gonna just give me 150 and take the Aztec.
So, did you tell him you were going to charge him $10 an hour in the beginning?
Yes. Although he claims it was in the middle of cleaning it that I changed it to from $50 flat fee to $10 an hour.
Mm.
Well, and I've told them before that I was thinking of going to an hourly rate for a while, and decided to when Carl came and gave me his.
So, okay, so the Diamond Lady got cleaned, right?
Yeah,
Completely clean.
taken, and yes, he didn't pay me when he came to pick it up, which supposedly he was going to pay me when it gets here.
So, alright. So you cleaned the Diamond Lady. The original deal was clean the Diamond Lady, he gives you $150 and the Aztec. The Aztec's yours, right?
Yeah.
And now he hasn't paid you, he's taken the Diamond Lady, and now he wants to come get the Aztec.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm thinking. I'm a little slow because I'm congested. Not firing all my cylinders, but. So why can't he just come give you $150 and just leave the Aztec? You cleaned the other one. He came and got it. It's done.
And bring up, it's going to cost me more than I can charge for it. clean it up, and I have to adjust. This one's ends are take longer because I have to adjust the switches and buy a new lead switch for the match because that's fallen off. And there's just a bunch of stuff.
And have been in business for at least 1 year. We can get you approved for an advance with no collateral, no minimum payment, and
Mostly
no
coin
advance
links
payback
are
schedule.
gone.
And the best
So
part
I
is,
have to
you
buy
can plan how to
those.
use the money for
They
your
don't
business.
have to, but
The information is
that's
free.
part
So to learn more, press 1 now.
of it.
To be immediately connected, press 1 now. Or to be removed from our calling list, press 2.
Whoops, I didn't leave one of the keys out. Oh, whoops, oh well.
Uh-oh.
But it's not locked down at all, it's just,
Oh.
but
Okay. Uh-oh.
well, but that's on the space mission, I had to replace a bunch of the reels because those were faded or the numbers were, you couldn't read them because it was near blank. This one seems to be okay, except for the dummy reels. They need new stickers put on them because they're all faded. And what this guy does is he basically finds dumpster pins and tries to resell them, which that one was pretty bad. It's 300 and should have been like not. Should have been taking it off of his hands.
Right.
Jungle Clean, he got off some porch that it was out in the weather for 10 years, and I couldn't figure out what the wiring was because it was sun bleached so bad because of course the back wasn't on it, which the back on this I had to get back from Game Room Collectibles, which I'm friends with, and so it's not the original back, but it worked.
Right.
It was off of Williams Straflag that they actually did throw in the dumpster, and they parted it out because sometimes these things you get more money parting them out than you do actually selling the thing working. And I gave them some money. They actually gave this to me, but I actually sent them money, like I think it was like $90 or something for it, which they don't really go for that, but it's like, you guys don't have to just send me stuff that because I'll send them a list and ask, do you have this, and then they'll just throw in stuff. So it's like,
That's
like,
cool.
guys, I don't have to do that, so I just send them
Right.
monies.
Right.
But yeah, they've dealt with the same bullshit that because of course they've been doing it for longer.
Right.
They know they very much told people to fuck off. That are pulling shit like he does.
All right. So at the very minimum, you're getting $150.
Mm-hmm. And I would have been getting about computer, so, or what he says,
Right.
because, of course, he has to set the price for some reason, even though it was mine for a little bit. But, yeah, it's like, why are you, setting the price for me? So, yeah, I could probably get you in touch with somebody that'll pay about 700 or something. Yeah, more like 950 or 1,000, and I'm through with it.
Right. Alright, so he wants to know the condition. Well, flipper buttons are out, plungers out, bulbs are out. I don't know what else is going on there, but
Besides what's obvious, like wires just dangling.
yeah, well, yeah, I hate to say it, but just get your 150, let them take it and be done with it. Don't fuck around with them anymore. I don't know what else. I mean, otherwise it's gonna be like pulling teeth with this fucker. Don't know if you want to go that route or not, but because at first I'm like, well, just go back to the original deal because you cleaned Diamond Lady. You got. I mean, that was like $150 in the Aztec.
And it was bitching at me because there was some dirt in the back of the cabin, so fuck you. You expect me to get every speck of fucking dirt on these things? Hell, no. The space mission still has some dirt in it, and I spent hours on it. So yeah, I do need to get the back box keys because we need to get that to get the. So I'll just leave the keys and thing on.
Condition, it's dirty and in pieces.
You. And now he's asking, is it totally dark taken apart? And yeah, actually, yes, it is. Pretty much. Well, not the playfield stuff.
Right. Yeah, you can say it like the playfield stuff, but, well, except for, well, yeah. Look for buttons and the plunger and, you know, what, coin box or, no. I don't know what that button actually, yeah, I saw this lady has metal pieces, I'm like, oh, okay, well.
When the relay board is loose, that doesn't have bolts in it.
That's not your fault, is it? They came to you that way, right?
No, I took them off.
Oh, you took them off. Oh. Well, what's it matter what condition it's in if he's taking it to somebody else to get it fixed anyway? Wasn't that his excuse? Wasn't that his beef? Like, so just give it to him like this and he can hit the road. Yeah, freaking sucks, but yeah. Yeah, everything needs to be on paper. Everything needs to be on paper, unfortunately. Otherwise, this shit's going to be unavoidable.
Well, it kind of is because of the message stuff.
Right. Right. But the original agreement was a verbal agreement, was it not? No. And the Judge Judy. Yeah. Yeah, it actually doesn't look that good. Producers pull cases that they think are entertaining enough for reading. I think that would be entertaining for me, actually.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna start button. Yeah. Well, the fact that he rides my ass, he expects me to have the thing done the day he drops the damn things off.
The hell, he can do that himself if that's the way he wants it done. If he wants a half-assed job, why doesn't he do it himself?
Mm-hmm. And it's obvious that he doesn't know jack shit from doing his stuff either, because he has somebody else do the electronics stuff.
Right.
Because it's gonna have Ron, whoever that is, do the boards.
Oh, so you don't know Ron? Oh, okay.
And I told him I was gonna do that resistor that was an obvious hack, and for free, and he just wouldn't hear it. He said, I trust Ron, but I don't trust you. Pretty much.
Why do you even bring this stuff over? Why doesn't Ron clean it? If he's gonna do all that shit anyway, why doesn't he? No.
Because I'm a clean maid to these guys, and pretty much nothing else.
Yeah, fuck that.
I mean, granted, Jason, said he's gonna bring Jason along. Jason trusts me enough because
right.
he has his, which actually you can't probably take it now. I mean, I'll tell Jason that I want to get another rubber ring kit for it because it came with one, but it was like at the near its age of why bother putting it in, because it's starting to rot. Because of course this is natural rubber, so of course that's why when you get one of these, even if the rubbers do look okay, then you want to do them anyways, because who knows when they changed them last.
Right.
So I was gonna get another rubber ring kit for it, and which are about $15 for a kit usually. And then I was going to mess with the 2000 light socket because that isn't lighting at all now. So, and probably just needs the socket replaced.
Right.
And he's gotten back to me after giving a list of
Okay, how would you like to handle wrapping it up? What does that mean?
okay. Well, I just did.
Yes.
Ready to go.
So what do you want? You want your 150, right?
Yeah.
You bring me 150, you take the out stack. I mean, unless you got another idea.
I don't know why he needs to borrow somebody's van because he's brought pins in his own car, so what that shows me is that he's a cheapskate and he's using somebody else's vehicle so he doesn't have to pay gas on his own car because he took Diamond Lady, he brought Diamond Lady in the van that he borrowed from somebody else, and then he took the Diamond Lady back in his own car. So, and then he said, "Oh, I forgot, it's my car, so I have to take off the head." It's like, well, you have to take off the head on the Aztec too.
Right.
So you can't, it doesn't have a hinge.
Okay, let's see. What if you're the type? All right. if you type, or the original agreement was $150 in the Aztec for the cleaning of the Diamond Lady. I have cleaned the Diamond Lady. I have not received payment, and now you want to take away the Aztec. How do you think we should wrap this up? And just let him go off. And then if he just decides to go off, say, fine, bring me my 150, you take the Aztec. No 150, no Aztec. And then we're done.
Mhm.
But yeah, go back to the original agreement and throw that in his face and say, how do you think we should wrap this up? Just tell him the original agreement, $150 in the Aztec for the cleaning of the gypsy, or not gypsy, Diamond Lady. You know, if that's the actual original verbal agreement, I would throw it at him. And just be like, how do you think we should wrap it up? And see where he goes. And if he decides to go off, just be like, just give me my 150 and take your game and get the fuck out of here. Before I put my foot in your ass.
All right.
Yeah, because you clean the Diamond Lady, you have no money. But you have this game, and if he decides not to give you $150, then you keep the Aztec. I mean, you're not working for free. I mean, make him decide what the fuck, how do this is the deal. How do you think we should wrap it up? Just keep throwing it at him. Like one way or the other, you're not their freaking maid.
Yeah.
Not going to use you for their benefit. It's not like that. Use you for your services, but not to rip you off.
Okay, so I haven't sent it yet, but
What you got?
The original deal was 150 for the cleaning for Diamond Lady, and I would get Aztec.
You have taken Diamond Lady without giving me $150. And now you want the Aztec. How do you think we should wrap this up? I know dealing with people is nerve-wracking, so I never got into customer service. I was a behind-the-scenes kind of guy.
I don't know why I got into this because I don't really like dealing with people. So I'm here most of the time, so I hate going out.
Right?
That's that roadshow plastic on space mission.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that yesterday when I tuned
It
in.
was Mike at GRC. He was warning me, stop now. That's what he's like.
Oh.
Stop now. That's yeah.
Oh. He was giving you some advice.
Yeah, which I told him that I don't know what I was thinking getting into this.
Unless I am mistaken, I believe the original deal is I was going to trade you Aztec for Cleaning Diamond Lady plus 2 other pinball machines. What? You were going to give him 2 other pinball machines, or he was going to give you 2 other pinball machines?
2 others.
And 2 other. Trade you Aztec for Cleaning Diamond Lady plus 2 other pinball machines. Okay. And you've cleaned one of the machines. Then he sent me an invoice for $600, and we chatted about that. I think if I talk face to face, we can hopefully figure out what's fair to go from there. I don't want to be mad about it with you. Okay. Okay. So was that the you were gonna clean 3 of his machines for the Aztec?
Oh,
Would that be a fair deal? I mean, with the way he wants them clean. I mean, it's just the slap, wax on, wax off. That's all he wants. Would it be worth doing 2 other machines to keep the Aztec if he's willing to keep that?
he's talking about Diamond Lady, and then I'm thinking that crusty Captain Fantastic, I'm thinking is what he's referring to, which was a moldy, nasty thing.
A moldy, nasty thing. Yeah.
Yeah, because he showed me, well, yes, photos, I think, that he posted.
I can't believe those guys are sending you a warning or advice. They know things. They know things. And why you have to go through those things. All right. And, what do you say? Can you say something else? Okay, that makes sense. Then, okay. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking originally, unless you want to see if he wants to, if that would be worth it for you. But if you just want to get the money, have him take the game, that makes sense. Yeah, ball's in your court, whatever you decide. But yeah, it sounds like you'll get 150, and he'll take the Aztec. Or you can clean a couple more games for him and keep the Aztec. That's what's going on, I guess, if he still wants to do that. But yeah, it's completely up to you. And, you know, deciding whether or not you want to work with him in the future. You can say 150, take the Aztec, we're done.
Or you can say, all right, I'll clean a couple more of your machines, and just give him, I know you don't like to do half-ass, but I mean, if that's what he expects, then, I guess that's what you give him.
It's wanting me to put it back together because the way that he bought it was the way it's saying there.
Oh, the Aztec?
Yeah.
How long would that take you to do?
Probably a couple hours. Oh, and I'm putting in half dirty and half clean stuff too. So
That throws another dynamic at it, actually.
So I started cleaning it 3.5 hours into it, and then getting parts. And you were
Yep.
there with me with the hardware store. I mean, granted, not everything was for that.
Right.
It was like the line cord, and then 4 bolts, and the washers for it.
Yep. And the foam.
Yeah.
Yeah, the weather stripping. Well, yeah, if you don't want to put it back together. Yeah, I don't know, it's up to you. I guess, if he wants it back the way it was, fuck, what a pain in the ass. Or you just leave it, take 2 other games, clean them, and keep it and put it back together when you feel like it.
Well, I think he's referring to Diamond Lady, this, and whatever other thing he was talking about. I think that's the 3 that he's talking about.
Oh, okay. So you only have to clean one more. And that would be the moldy, nasty Captain Fantastic.
That's what I'm guessing, because he mentioned that. Because he showed me pictures of the thing, and it was. He says, "Oh, it's not that bad." It's like, I don't think he cracks these things to look at them. I think he just gets them.
And Bond sends them out to have them lay them apart and deal with it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because he was actually posted another pin that in this whole ordeal that I saw, he posted a solid state one for sale all over the Facebook pinball groups. So yeah, I'm not really inclined to do it unless he, like I said, pays me more because he's taking it back. So it's like it's yours, So. Saying that he wasn't mad at me. Friday, when he finally saw the invoice, he came zipping right to my house, and of course, I think it was like 12:30 or 12:20 or something, and I was still, I got woken up from him pounding on the door, and he said that he was at my house going to pick up that stick. But when I got there, he was already gone, and he told me that he was at the house, and that when I set a time for him to come back at 6:30, because folks would be there for a witness kind of thing. And so he never showed up, and then he said, "I'll be, how about Sunday?" And so I said, "Sure." And Sunday came around, and Carl. And today he's saying he's start today, sometime in the afternoon. He said that he doesn't want to mess up me, but seems pretty ticked off to me.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, it's up to you. I'm almost tempted to say just have him bring another game over. Clean it up. Send it back with him. Just keep the Aztec. Otherwise, I'm sitting here thinking, if you got to put it back together, he started taking this apart before he got the invoice and all that.
Yeah, before he saw it,
Okay.
freaked out, and then
So you
wanted it back.
You were in the process of cleaning this before he decided to say, "Hey, I want it back."
Yes.
So at this point, if he wants it back together, I'd say bring me, add $20 to it, say $170. If not, you get it as is. Because I was in the middle of cleaning. I had started to clean before this happened. So logically, you were doing what you were supposed to be doing. He decided, hey, so therefore, if he wants it, he gives you $150, he takes it as is. If he wants you to put it back together, you think it's going to take a couple hours, tell him $170, I'll put it back together, come get it. But explain to him why you're adding $20 to it. Because, you had already started doing what you were supposed to do. And he changed his mind. So yeah, if he wants to give you $150, he can come get it as is. Or if he wants it put back together, he can give you $170 and come get it. Or you can see if he wants to bring another game over for you to clean, he can just keep it. I think those are the three options. But I think tacking on an extra $20 to put it back together is fair. Since, you didn't foresee you didn't foresee the events of the game. So otherwise you wouldn't have started on it.
He's actually coming out ahead for not only getting more than what he asked for, and still taking 150, and then he's going to take Aztec too, with going to bring up that what kind of deal do you think I'm getting here? Right, because I have to buy a bunch of parts, which I've already done, plus I have to, it's going to take me about 100 hours just to clean the damn thing, and then another 60 to 80 hours just to adjust the switches, go through the wiring like I am a space mission. That's going to take a while, right? Just to make sure that things are not shorting to other shit.
Well, plastic's broken. There's a whole set.
He bought, that's what some of that stuff was, he bought a new rubber ring kit and plastic, but the plastic that he bought was obviously from eBay and it's actually yellowed.
Oh,
And so I was going to just replace one of them, but then I got to thinking if that's going to work
Mhm.
because these are actually nice and clear and the yellow just look good.
right.
And of course, if it was me, I'd just buy the plastic set if they had them, which I think they might for this game. Do like repros
Mhm.
plastics, and I just do all of them, and it's probably only about $70 for them. If I was so inclined to do that,
Right.
because of course the yellow, they wouldn't match the rest of this because the rest of the plastics are pretty nice too. They're white, which usually they are yellowed. I know that Yeehaw has a lot of the yellowing plastics on it. But other than that, they're pretty nice. And of course, the back glass is horrible too. It's got
Oh yeah.
holes all over it and crazing and all that
Yeah.
sorts of good stuff. So I look around to see if they make a repro of that, because some of them they do. There is, I know that there's at least one person that does repro back classes, but of course not all of them are available. Because of course, a lot of it has to do with copyright stuff. Because some you have to draw the art and crap on you and
Oh yeah.
stuff. So, and it's supposedly a actual story or a scene or something from Aztec history or something.
Somewhat. Yeah. 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 They are about to make the sacrifice.
Yeah.
He is tied down.
Kind of like how I feel.
Kind of tied down.
Kind of feel like a kid then. And he doesn't know how much of restraining I'm doing, restraining myself from just flying off the handle at him and telling him and just throwing F-bombs at him.
Right.
So I've been very level-headed, except for that, of course, the Livid Diamond Lady update that I did is unlisted because it was F-bombs everywhere.
Unlisted F-bomb valuably.
Yeah, well, I did show GRC the video, and he kind of suggested that I make it unlisted or private because he was
Right.
business wise.
Yep.
It doesn't look too good.
Yeah. No, no shit.
For a
Right.
small business, you kind of
Mm-hmm.
not have that.
Just a little.
Although mine will just say in some of the tech tips or just miscellaneous videos,
Yeah.
actually say fuck you, Carl Land or something. He'll actually
Oh, really?
call him out, just say fuck you,
Really?
and then give a list of because
He'd be like the Gordon Ramsay of pinball.
yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. I mean, and it's not a reality TV show. It's just it's them unscripted, and it's like somebody is fucking with them, and they'll just outright
Yep.
just get it back to them. Because, well, we know, we both know the business and both know the people that want this crap done for free, pretty much. You know, it's like, oh, you want to charge that for doing that? Well, to start the first season, they had a cabinet where they take stuff to get everything done on it, like a full restore, like my high speed
Mm-hmm.
downstairs
Mm-hmm.
that he's played, that Carl's played. Well, he's played all the damn games here, except for I think Space Mission, because I told him that when he was here last that it wasn't working, which is true because it wasn't starting. But
Right.
now, for some reason, it is. That's one of the problems with these things. They work when they want to, not when you want to.
Yeah.
And they just, I mean, I'm not sure about the EMs if they do resetting, but solid states, you have a pretty much Russian roulette with them because at some point they might reset on you, like completely just shut off and then reboot back up again.
Oh, lame.
And then you've got
Solid kick my ass.
and that's really something really bad if you, of course, in an arcade or something and it's doing that,
Mhm.
then it's like you've got your customer bitching at you because the machine reset on me. I want my money back or something. You know?
Right.
It's like, so yeah. And him. Yeah.
Hmm.
And of course, people complain about the pay or the rates because it's like, oh, it costs that much. And that's what I did with the invoice is I was showing them that I did 60 hours. And
Right.
I was still fine with the 150.
Right.
And the original deal. I told this, of course, to my folks, and they were, after I explained it for a long time,
Right.
Because they were doing the same thing you were doing, just trying to wrap their mind around it.
Right.
They did say, well,
All it is to show if you were charging hourly, this is how much it would cost him. And yeah, after seeing the invoice, I'm like, there's an amount due of $0.
yeah,
What the hell did he get all livid about? What's the problem here? I mean, it's
Yeah.
just information. It's just letting you know that, hey, you're getting the fucking deal here. Basically, if I was charging you, this is what it would be.
and of course it comes back with, oh, I'm being mean because I did that, sending him an invoice, because apparently people in the store don't do that, even though I've got an invoice shot.
I don't care what business you're in. Even the Bunny Ranch have invoices, okay? You know what the Bunny Ranch is, right? It's the brothel outside of in Nevada. I mean, I'm telling you, I don't care what business you're in, you keep invoices. I mean, drug dealers don't because they don't do taxes. But, but if you're in a business, I mean,
Yeah.
like you could be in, you could be dealing with your best friend in the world. You still have to, I mean, shit happens, I've bought cars, a couple of cars from a friend of mine. You think he just said, oh, here's the money, here's the car? No, it was all, not only did we have the agreement, but, all that stuff. Because, I made him payments. I made him like 4 monthly payments on one of those. So yeah, I put it in writing, even though I've known this guy for almost 30 years, it's like, I want to make sure every time I pay him, I want a thing saying I made a payment. I want a thing saying I made a payment.
Yeah. Well,
And that's all there is to it.
oh man, I think he's brought me all the pins that I bought. Because he brought me a laser cube. He knew that the plate field lighting wasn't working on it, and I've shown that I got that working. Because
Right.
what happened is there was two pins that were half out, so I snapped those back in. The playfield lighting came back, but there was still some lights out, and I thought it was a socket, so I replaced some of the socket. Well, one of the sockets, I think, and then I did a bunch of board repair. The first one I did was the transistor. Both the transistors on the board that was because when I was like, why is the knocker burned out, which is a common thing in these EM or solid states. They have them burned up, and sometimes it's because the operator took a burned up one, put the burned up one in the knocker, and then put it somewhere else because the knocker is a general use kind of coil, so
Right.
they rob it from there and then stick it somewhere to make the game work.
Right.
And so that was burned up. I got a replacement. We checked the manual to see what the knocker coil was, and got that put in, and I found out why it was burned up because it was locking the coil on, which of course that's going to burn it up. So I turned it off immediately after I found out why it was burning, and then I got with that one the manual with it, so looked at the manual, figured out okay where's the I figured it was a transistor on the original board, so what I did is I didn't have the right tip. Was it tip 102s or tip 122s or something? I don't know. But I replaced the two transistors and booted it up, and locking of the knocker coil. So, and I should ask him when he gets here. Does he think that they don't take the same care in my phone pins than others? I mean, I actually it's just the same care if I was my pin. And I know what hacks look like, and it's just got my hands tied.
Right.
Because it doesn't trust me and it's like, well, why do you bring them over anyways? And
Right.
it sounds like you don't trust me to even touch
he's obviously seen the work that you've done. I didn't know this before.
Yeah, he
Um,
brought me laser Q, I cleaned it up, he's played it, he's played high speed, even though the voice on it is just, I
And-
have no idea, it's been, the EEPROMs have been burned,
That's not-
reburned, it's just,
Has
Yeah.
nothing to do with your ability to be able to fix it either, because you sent it in, they fixed it, you sent it, I think it's something, it's your machine. An untraceable thing is frying your soundboard.
well, and I put a new audio board in, and it still doesn't, the voice still doesn't work, and I put in some of the stuff, like some of the original ICs that were socketed in my original board into the socketed IC on the board that I got from GRC, and it still didn't work. And then, well, I've redone all of the EEPROMs on the MPU board too, and it hasn't done anything either. So, I even did some rewiring to the audio board, because there's a black, red, and white wire that connects to the board, both the audio and the MPU, and it didn't help, because I thought, well, maybe the wire is broken inside the vinyl, because sometimes that happens too.
Right.
I could also, well, I've done continuity tests on the connector before I did it, and it was fine, but I still redid the wiring anyways, because I just thought, well, maybe it was the wiring,
Right.
and of course
Sure.
it wasn't, because it still doesn't do anything. And so the other thing I may do is just redo the volume control wiring, although I've done a continuity test on that, and it beat fine on that.
Mhm.
And then what I don't have though is I need to get a new ribbon cable to see, because the ones I've been using are used ones from the original, so I may get a brand new ribbon cable, which I think is a 20 pin. I don't know, I'd have to look at it, but yeah, it could be the ribbon cable, but I've changed out, I have 2 ribbon cables, and I break both of them, and that didn't do anything, so. Well, and of course, the hee-haw, I think he's played that at least once.
Yeah. So what do you want to tell this guy?
Well, Jason is the one that, of course, trusted me to work on it. Well, it's with the old pay me what you want kind of deal, so I'll probably still do it with that, because it's on the old system that I had, so.
Right.
Of course, I don't know if he's gonna, Jason's gonna take it back today or what, because it is, like I said, it is ready.
Right.
And he probably wanted to figure out the 2000 light bonus thing. I might do a tiny bit of sanding or something in it, but with a finicky socket, it's probably best to just replace it I mean, not always. Sometimes it's just like you need to poke the light bulb a little bit and it'll turn on.
Right.
But yeah, with that, well, with a lot of EMs, the sockets are rusty on these things, so it's a wonder that any of them light because they're rust buckets for the sockets. So. And
Can you just clean those out, or do you have to replace the socket, or do you replace the socket?
what you can't, well, there's a fiber stick that you can buy to get into the socket itself, but what that does is it is only a temporary thing because take off the coating and it'll work for a little bit, but then not work because it oxidizes back up again, so you're not really
Right. Didn't
doing
accomplish
anything.
much.
Some of the new sockets I have put in, and they're not supposed to spin around, but I've had quite a lot of the new sockets spin around, and my thing is if they light up, then we'll keep it in. The thing about them spinning though is if you're trying to put in a light bulb, say that like the GI or something, which most of the GI on these are stapled down. Ugh, nasty things. So that's not really a thing. But if they were stand up, like say my high speed, I actually modded them so that they are stand up. Stand up sockets. I actually have some up here. But yeah, they're just a single tab where you do one of the wires on the tab and then, well, I think it's ground on the base here.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is what I put in the high speed for the GI because the staple down stuff, this I can at least unscrew and have the socket flop and then I can get to the hole.
Right.
But with the original staple down stuff, I'd have to take the staples off and then you have to redo it anyways because when you're taking the staples off, you're not careful enough, the wire is just chewed up.
Oh, right.
And of course you have to solder that silver wire back onto the new socket, so it's just, well, and with the original too, you have to take off you have to take off the plastic and for that diamond lady, it was literally had to take off all the plastics. Well, I was cleaning it anyways, but if it was an operator kind of deal in an arcade, they would have to take off all the plastics because you can't get to it underneath because of course it's stapled
It's stapled down. Yeah. Genius.
So yeah. With my custom pin, I was going to. Well, people suggested that I do metal sockets, and if I ever do produce units for public, then I do the circuit boards then, because I guess doing the circuit stuff is expensive or something.
Yeah, I'm sure it
But
is.
it's like, I'm kind of thinking, do I want to do circuits anyways? Because it's kind of like, it is a prototype, and I want to show, like, okay, this is what he's going to be in it, so if I sell them.
Right.
So it's like, do I want to do the sockets or not?
Right. Right.
Well, it's not really that hard to, like, I might be able to like do my own etchings kind of thing because it's not too hard to do boards, LED circuit boards for lighting because, well, if it's LED, which it is going to be, it's just have to figure out what resistor I need on it, and that's about it. Maybe a few other components, but
Right.
because the control lighting stuff is going to be at the board side in the head, so and of course I'm getting a lot of flack for doing multiple boards and through hole stuff, but because everything's going to surface mount. It's like, yeah, and I hate surface mount because what do you do when it goes? You have to buy a whole new board.
Yep,
to get that.
yep.
With these old, I like the old stuff because it's through hole for the most part, unless you, of course, you buy a new pinball machine that's from Stern or Jersey Jack, which both use surface stuff now. It's like I'm doing the old-fashioned way. Of course, I'm going to make it so it's more efficient than the old stuff.
Sure.
It's going to have like what, yeah, it's going to have like 4 or 5 boards like the originals do. It's more efficient than what was back in the day.
Right.
Well, and case in point, the laser Q had the interconnect board that was the CPU is on top, and then the logic is on the bottom. And with the new Rotten Dog board that I put in, it has the logic and the CPU all in one board.
Right. So if one goes, then
Yeah, but it's not probably not going to do that for another 20 years.
well, that's nothing. I guess that's good. That's good. That makes up for it.
Unless you're a moron and don't take off the bracket, because there's the original interconnect board had a bracket that held, it was in the middle and it held the board so that it wouldn't
Mhm.
come off. It would take some of the weight off the boards because of course it's heavy.
Right.
So if you're a moron and don't take off that center bracket, then you've blown your board, because what happens is the board, there's pins that are up against that bracket, and as soon as you turn that on, your board's blown because that's
Causes a short.
yeah, and that's one of the things. Actually, one of the videos, the Tech Tips on GRC, they got in a pin that had a Rotten Dog in it, and whoever put it in didn't take the bracket off, and they because it was having problems, it would turn on and then just it would do like a resetting, or it would just go nuts, and
Right.
so they found that the problem was that bracket. They took it off and they tried it again, and it still was not doing it very well. So yeah, they of course we're going to see what the owner wanted to do with it. If they wanted them to get the Rotten Dog fixed, or or he's gonna find another board for it or something.
Right.
I think they tested out like a interconnect board for, I don't know what system it was, but because, let's see, I think it's 6, 7, 8, 9 systems all look the same because they all have the interconnect board, but of course you can't intermix the different systems, which another reason to get a new board is you can put that rock dog in other board, in other machines.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's programmed for other machines
Yeah,
then?
several different machines.
I was just sitting here thinking they should do that. That way there, you know, they'd be more interchangeable when stuff goes wrong.
In that, the power supply that I have in my high speed, I actually had it in my laser queue because I shorted out the 100 volts to the displays. I shorted that out, and so yeah, and that was, I slipped off one of the 100 volt pins and onto the other, and of course it sparked, had some nice sparks. And I tested it again. One of them was 100 and the other was like 24 volts, which of course is under voltage. And so I took it out, put the power supply that was in the high speed into laser queue, make sure when they have a silk screen on it, on these boards that say this is what you can, this board can be put in these games, which is pretty cool because it's because the high speed is system 11 and laser queue is system 7, so it's neat that it crosses the in those systems. So and of course it worked, and well, and that was when I had the actual the old tube scores on. I have the LED displays in there now, and so I put in the original power supply because that actually doesn't use the high power anymore and it works fine.
Nice.
So I put the Rock Dog power supply back in the high speed, and before it wasn't humming when I put in that power supply, but for some reason it's still humming with the new power supply in it. Well, it's some kind of, I'm thinking it's some kind of ground hum, because that's usually what causes the hum. Well, especially as loud as it is. The GRC guys used to have a cab guy that would, he literally, well, first off, if he didn't have the template to redo the art on it, he put some single-sided tacky paper on it, and kind of like a trace paper with kind of a big sticker.
Right.
It wasn't
a giant traceable post-it.
Yeah. So, and then he'd come down here and trace it.
Right.
And then of course you'd have to do multiple colors because most of these are multiple colored. This one's fairly easy because it's 2 colors. But then you get done with the reds, and then he'd do like the this tan color,
Right.
and each time he'd have to take it off, and then he'd put it on like the foam board, kind of like what my pin is,
Right.
my personal land, and so he could do more than just one, because of course you just can't have the paper.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
Right.
And of course, after he's got the template, he strips it down to bare wood, and then he, of course, does the base coat of what the color was,
Yep.
and then he puts on the templates, does whatever color first, and then he even he's so detailed that he'll put the speckles back if
Oh.
there was speckles on the cab.
Right.
Which that's not easy, because
I know, right?
you'd well, one way to do it is to get the brush and flick it, but that you'd have to do a lot of tests for, or he draws those out in the template as well too, which
Wow. Yeah.
well, and that GRC's shown some of the stuff that's come back from him, and it's yeah, that's 9-day difference there. Well, there was the strange science that they rescued. It was like one of those. I mean, it was worse than the high speed downstairs, which was pretty much should have just thrown it in the dumpster. But the cab was shot. There was obvious. There's a huge crack on the front, and most of the art was gone. And with that one, I think it might have been heavy duty sticker, maybe,
Oh yeah.
or maybe it was painted. Yeah, it was Strange Science was the name of it, and they showed me before and after pictures, and it's like it looks brand new. You wouldn't know that it was just a pile of crap. Same as the high speed that I have. It was pretty much a dumpster that was filthy, and I got that. You can play it. It's playable. Everything's working except for the voice,
Right.
which makes it, in my standards, it makes it not playable.
You're right. Right.
Because that's the whole point of me getting it, pretty much, because it was one of those type that was mainly nostalgia, and that's why I put so much into it, which
Mhm.
was it's roughly about $10,000 that I put into it throughout the years. I mean, I didn't
Right. Not
just throw
right?
that.
Yeah. But yeah, this, that, and the other over the years, sure, that adds up.
And the full coil, I put in all new coils, and that wasn't cheap. Those are usually $10 to $20, depending on what coil you get. So, well, of course, I did on a lot of it was redoing the GI that I redid, because I took the stapled down stuff down anyways.
Right.
And that's where I actually got the idea from GRC to if you're doing a restore on these, then just do the GI on the standoff sockets instead of doing the staple down stuff
down.
again.
Yeah.
And
Make it more user friendly.
even if I did do the the staple down stuff again, I use the vinyl wire instead of, I don't know why they use just bare wire like they did. It's like, well, it's on,
That's
I can show.
What happened.
Yeah, it's any of this stuff, they just bare wired it. I mean, that's controlled lighting stuff here, but
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
like this, most of the stuff on the side are gonna be GI. Well, most of the time the rule is that the plastics are the GI, which is always on, and then the controlled lighting is pretty much in the center of the play field.
Yeah, they're paying for that. All them staples.
Yeah. With this, I probably wouldn't, probably won't bother with redoing the staple down stuff, because, but if I did, I'd just replace it with the vinyl stuff
Right.
and just strip, like I strip the wire and slap it onto the
Yep.
terminals and stuff. But yeah, it's not really going to be worth it because I've already put in lots into this already. This, I've been putting this wire all over the place, trying to get that to light. And I thought it might have been, I might have gotten away with it with the special light over there. I might try it on the other terminal, but that's, I think the other one's power, so doing ground, power and ground don't really like each other. That could cause, might cause a fuse to blow if I did that. Well, I tried it to this wire here, and it's always on if I did it when I did it over there, so that wasn't it.
Right.
Because I was like, okay, so it doesn't have, it just has originally it just had this wire going to it, so I was like, okay, so most of these have the two wire thing going, so it has the wire going in, and then on these I think it's usually ground. One wire is the power, and then it goes to ground somewhere. I think the newer stuff is different. Like they don't use ground to light the stuff, or what? The rumor, anyways. That's what I've heard. Yeah, these flipper, to get all of them is probably to get the whole thing, because the kits the kits cost about $55, and then which you get the plungers here. See, and then you get the in brackets. You get the in the stroke switches, which are usually buggered up. The laser Q ones I'm in, because there was one that had a cap on it which isn't original to it, like something like Terminator 2 does have the caps on the switches, on the in-stroke switches, but not the laser Q. When they didn't do the cap thing very long, because it didn't really do what they wanted to because it was supposed to keep the switches from corroding faster, and it didn't really do
Didn't do anything.
good. I redid the wiring on all of the jets, and got the power back. I mean, they were working okay, but most people would notice the difference, but I certainly did when I redid it, because there was, I think this terminal wire was, oh no, it was this one that had just a hair of a wire on it, and I don't know how it works, but it did. But yeah, I did all of them since I was, because most of them were not very well done, because there was some of the cloths that on most of it were too far.
Too far, yeah.
So we redid it. Well, I was wanting to do it a long time ago, because this wire was actually tight roped. It was, which is my way of saying that it was tight, very tight. So it was like, yeah, it's on there. The solder is fine. It's just, yeah, it's bugging me. Plus, it was going on out the side.
Oh, right.
Which I like to have the wires go straight, like on the terminals. I mean, sometimes, like if it's like something like this, I'll have the wire come down vertically. Well, yeah, like these side terminals, I won't do it straight out, but I'll do it, do the wire, solder it down, just because it looks better, and it was done that way at the factory too. So I'll do those on the side, but for these ones, I'll do
straight on.
Yeah. Well, these are actually really tight, because the wiring is just barely getting to them, which I could have well, one of the options is to splice in more wire and then do the heat shrink, or the other option is to completely rip out all of the wiring and redo it. Which,
I don't think that's necessary.
but there would,
unless there are other problems in there, then that would make sense. But
I think there was a GRC video that showed it was either an EM or a solid state. I think there was a video, or they just mentioned it or something, or did like a quick photo or something showing it, but I think they were dumbfounded, because it looked like somebody had redone all of the wiring, literally all of the wiring in new vinyl, and it's like, oh man, no, thank you.
yeah, no kidding.
Because with me, to make sure that I am putting the wire back on to the right thing, I take off one wire at a time.
Right.
So doing it that way it'd take me like 2-3 years to
Yeah.
do that, because I take off that. Okay,
How many miles of wire? 25?
I'd have to take off all of this catgut knot stuff that's all over the place, holding, because that's what they did back in the days when these were on these EMs, that they do they'd use what looks like catgut.
Right.
So they'd tie it down with this stuff and just to make it neat. I mean, otherwise it would be just a spaghetti mess all over the place. And so when they
Didn't have zip ties yet.
right, so they used some, to make it look professional. They used at least something
Right.
to get stuff orderly.
Oh.
I think I'll continue on looking at the wires on Space Mission. So I started yesterday on the score stack, and I just and I take one stack off and then I unscrew the next stack so that I know, okay, this one's loose, so I know it's that one that I stopped at.
Right.
And it's a good thing I am doing that because there was two wires that were close together, plus both of the cloth was too far off on it, so I redid those, and I'm sure I'll find more of that crap.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. I saw something the other day, actually, was it yesterday, day before, on YouTube, as I go into, and I check out a new inventions, or whatever, the inventions is just the most freaking awesomest thing I've ever seen. Well, one of them. Your very own personal robotic arm with an interchangeable heads, 3D printer, laser cutter, drill, you can ice a cake with it. This thing built a laptop. Built, it made the circuit board, it created a case, it did the whole fucking thing. That's some serious thing. It's just, it's about this high, and it's an actual robotic arm like they use to put cars together, that sort of thing. Yeah. I was blown away by it. All the crap you could do. Especially the laser cutting. I'm like, no way. And soldering. Yeah, everything. It built the laptop. I was impressed. I was like, it's the ultimate 3D printing. And then they're icing a cake with it. Happy birthday, mother. Okay. Yeah, that was pretty damn cool. Oh. possibilities are endless.